What's going on, boys? How you doing? Vinay, Dhruv, Andrew, Ravinder, Ginger. What's going on, boys? Sorry, I'm a little tired today. Long day. Excellent day, but long day. Congrats, everyone. I know a lot of you guys hit a lot of good plays today. I'm sure everyone ended green or close to green. If you didn't end green, maybe go back, look at the chat from today, see what you missed. So you'll know what to pay attention to next time. We basically called out so many times, so many perfect supports, so many puts, everything, just nailed everything. Great day personally. I hope you guys had a great day as well. What's up, G Money? How you doing, brother? So let's just get into it. SPY daily. This is what a unhealthy market looks like, guys. This is a bear market. I hate to say it, but it is fully a bear market. It's very obvious. So what you get in a bear market is usually, let's go over a bull market first. So you see bull market, we slowly stair step up, and then when the pull comes, they pull the elevator down straight, right? Stairs up, elevator down. That's a bull market. Now that we're in a bear market, what it's doing is slow stairs. Well, this wasn't even stairs. This is day after day. But usually it's like slowly down, and then a vicious elevator up. So stairs down, elevator up, just like it happens here. 2 days down, then a big rip. 4 days down, then a big rip. But you have to realize the longer term trend is down. What's up, Papa Ganesh? How you doing, Dhruv? We did have a bounce for the last 3 days. It looked good from last Thursday. This is called an ultimate panic day. Like last Thursday when they invaded Ukraine, when Russia invaded Ukraine. I'm sure a lot of people that aren't experienced or that aren't in groups or don't have people helping them, they sold a lot of stuff this day. And what happens basically on these kinds of days, everyone panics right in the morning, gap down. Oh my God, we lost Jan 24th lows. Oh my God, let me sell my shares. We're going much lower. So they liquidate a lot of their stuff. I know it sounds stupid to you guys because you guys have been taught, and like you're in MSL, you have people around like helping you. But a lot of newbies that don't have help, they liquidated their whole account here. And then when the market bounced, what's up, Ricky? How you doing? When the market bounced, they chased back into their stocks on the second day or third day. So yesterday or the day before, they chased right back into those stocks. They sold way lower on Thursday, and now the market's going to come crush them again. So that's what a bear market is. It sucks you in long, and then it pulls the rug underneath you. So if we did, one key level that I gave you guys yesterday was Monday's high, or Friday's high, sorry. Friday's high was 437.84. We got through it, but we could not hold through it yesterday. That was a key level I gave you yesterday, 437.84. Today we got up to 437.17, so we didn't even get up to that high, and the market reversed down. Not only did we break yesterday's low, we broke Friday's low, and we did close above Friday's low for now, but that's not a very good candle. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I mean, 3 days up. I'm not saying we're going to go right back down to lows today. If the VIX went crazy today, one thing you have to realize, the VIX went up about almost 12% today on the VIX up, and SPY is only down negative, well, I mean negative 1.5% is a big move. So let's just watch this channel. If we break today's lows, we are going probably right back down to the lows, in my opinion. If we hold today's lows, we can go and take out this 437.84 and we can continue up. It's less likely, in my opinion, but it is possible. So we have to hold these lows right here. This line is 428.86. As long as we close above 428.86, you cannot just guess that we're going back to the lows. As ugly as the market is, as ugly as the charts is, as much drama that's going around the world, 428.86 must hold level. If we close below there, then we'll probably go and revisit Thursday's lows. Other than that, I mean, QQQ's right back into its support zone. I had the support zone drawn out for so long, guys. We needed to stay above it. I told you guys 341.68 is like a must hold, or what was it? 343.16 was the top of this support. This whole demand zone, every time we dipped in below there, tech bulls showed up. So far, they keep holding it, minus 1 day, the day before invasion. Other than that, every time it's dipped into this demand zone, there has been buyers. So do we go and take out those buyers? If the sellers can outpower the buyers here, then we will go and test those Thursday's lows. But this whole range is a big buying area for a lot of people. So keep an eye on this whole range. From 343 all the way down to 338 is the range on QQQ. If we get below 338, this market's going to be a disaster. So just keep an eye on that. What's up, Darsh? How you doing? XLF weakest today, strongest yesterday off the open compared to QQQ. and today it was the weakest. So they're just playing games here, guys. XLF, obviously, they look at how strong it was on Friday. Strong yesterday as well, even though we closed almost right where we closed green on XLF yesterday, and look what they did to it today. Just destroyed it. Luckily, we were positioned very nicely in here. I'll go over AMD, don't worry. XLF super weak today, closed near the low of the day. Banks look like trash. You can search almost any bank chart. JPM, just garbage. Look at this daily chart on these stocks, guys. JPM, look at this. We already lost Thursday's lows on most banks. JPM's gone. My mind isn't even working. GS almost, well, GS is right at Thursday's lows here. 326.95, 327, so 7 cents off of Thursday's low on GS. MS is another one completely destroyed. BAC was holding a little bit. No, BAC's at Thursday's lows as well. WFC probably at Thursday's lows as well. Yep. All the banks are just getting destroyed right now, so financials obviously very weak. You guys can't, when you buy banks, you have to buy them up here. Like when I called out those WFC puts, I bought them on a back test of this. It's very hard for me to buy bank puts when they're already down here. They might go lower, but it's very hard, and the puts will be very expensive. If it bounces on you, it's going to screw your position completely. IWM, again, I pointed out yesterday, this is a daily bear flag breakdown. Retested it, and now it looks like it wants to go down further. It could not reclaim yesterday's high. If it reclaimed yesterday's high, very, very bullish. Until IWM is over 205, I do not like any calls on IWM. 205 is a key level, which would put it back. It would take it out of the downtrend. But other than that, I mean, right here we got to 188. Right here we got to 187. So this is almost a double bottom on IWM. But I will not turn bullish unless it's over 205. If it stays under 205, it's always a short in my opinion. VIX is absolutely flying. You can draw this little daily chart here. It's not breaking the support. It's just coming down 1-2 days, and then it just rips back towards highs. If the VIX takes out 39, which is this high here, we're in for a lot more volatility. And like I told you guys, I know a lot of you guys are probably sick of hearing this, but we have a lot of new members and stuff. VIX, what it is, it's basically a panic signal. VIX signals how many SPY puts are out there. And usually it's everyone's scared. They buy a bunch of puts, VIX spikes. They sell their puts, VIX comes back down. That's always the case for VIX, or almost always. You guys see one big spike, two big spikes, and then back down. One big spike, back down. But right now what VIX is doing, it's being very constructive, which is kind of scary to be honest. What that means is it's putting in a low, put in a higher low. Now it's putting in a higher low, higher high. And now if it goes and takes out this 39, it's higher highs and higher lows, the daily uptrend, which is very, very scary on VIX. If it continues in this uptrend, the market has a lot more downside to come, in my opinion. ES, we caught that bounce right at the end of the day. I had a level at 42.75.75. We got down right to 42.75 flat. Big bounce at the end of the day. That's the only reason I took some AMD calls overnight. Another reason I took AMD over another stock, AMD is down like 7.7% today, okay? 7.71%. And basically, they just announced earnings back here. They announced the 8 billion share buyback. Great company, everything. 200-day moving average. I know it's hard to see, but it's this dark blue line right here. It's at 113.37. We closed at 113.83. That's the only reason I took calls. Possibly a little gap up tomorrow. I'm not looking for a 10 bagger on these. I think we get a gap up maybe 30-40% on these calls and I'll be out. That's all I'm looking for. If the market does reverse tomorrow and shows strength, which is possible, right? Guys, like SPY, I showed you. After a 3-day bounce, this isn't bad consolidation. When you see consolidation that's over 50%, that's what bad. Like right here. So you guys see like 4-day big up days and then just healthy consolidation where we didn't give back 50% plus of this move. So it just went sideways. We got another gap up and then it gave it up. And right here was with a sign where it gave up more than 50% of the move that we're probably going to go lower. So this is like, you guys are well aware of what a bull flag is, right? This is a bull flag. This, oh my god, sorry. This is a bull flag sideways. Even this is a bull flag. But once it starts giving back half that move or more, like it gives back more than 50% of the up move, that's not a healthy bull flag in my opinion. So that's what we're looking for all over the place. Right now, you could argue that the SPY was not that bearish today, just based on the daily, the last 3 days up. But let's see what happens tomorrow. We crushed calls yesterday. We crushed puts today. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Tesla, it's just inside this range all day, guys. I had this range run out this morning. It was just basically pre-market high, pre-market low, yesterday's levels. And every time it would come back down to demand, there would be buyers, big spike. We got one little fake out this morning, which could have sucked in some longs here. And then right back into the range. Back down to demand, big spike off demand. And just over and over, chop city all day on Tesla. Lots of money to be made in these kinds of patterns, guys. Like if you had these two lines, you could have taken calls down here. You could have taken puts up here, calls, puts, calls, puts. And range bound trading is very easy if you're a good scalper. On the bigger picture, Tesla is still above the 200-day moving average. 200-day moving average is at 835, so we close at 863, still over 200-day. And look at this daily, guys. This is 4 days straight up almost, right? We made a higher high at 4 days straight. Maybe Tesla needs some sideways before we continue. Maybe it just V-shapes right back down. But one thing I do like is that sell volume is much lower than the buying volume the last 3 days. So keep an eye. The market can still go either way. It's not like it's just over right now. Any bullish comment, anything that happens. Let's see if AMD gets a little gap up tomorrow. We get 30-40% maybe. AXP. Now this was a great play. So I know we tried this one before. We hit it. This is my third time playing AXP. One time I got lots of profits on half and then I lost money on the other half. The second time I sold it for tiny profits just because I was expecting a rip. I think it was this day maybe, or this day. And then yesterday or 2 days ago, I took it again and I drew out this line. I said 195 is my absolute stop out, 195.13. This morning it got up to 194.77. It scared me a little bit. But right after that, just straight down, guys. From 194.77, we were down to low of the day at 176. Our puts went from 285 all the way to 730 or 740. So we got about almost 200% on the puts. Closed a bunch of them. I'm still holding some of them. One reason I like taking puts farther out is exactly this AXP chart. Like, you guys can learn a lot from this. I know a lot of people are watching this with me. When I first brought it up, a lot of people made money on it, but they didn't make the type of money they wanted to make. That's one thing you have to learn about puts. One thing you have to, you'll take the elevator down, but when do you take the elevator down? People that bought puts on Thursday, for example, they got squeezed out and then the real drop happened. People that took puts Friday, they probably got squeezed out Monday. In order for these puts to work where you know it's going to go down, you have to give yourself enough time. Maybe take a smaller position if you're not comfortable seeing red. Take a smaller position, add on the day. So imagine you took puts yesterday or Thursday or Friday. You took puts, for example. You take, let's say, 10 contracts. That's at 285 each, right? 10 contracts at 285. Your normal position sizing is like 50 contracts. Instead of putting in 50 contracts here, almost crying to yourself yesterday when it gapped up or when it went $1 over Friday's high, you could have added the 40 contracts today. The first sign of weakness, which was the loss of yesterday's low, you could have added 40 contracts right here. You could have been full position size, big drop, you would have got paid, less risk, less everything. So think about that in puts. These were April puts, guys. There was no reason to panic in 1 or 2 days on a little rip, in my opinion. But if you're uncomfortable seeing red, that's another way to play it. Take a small starter position. On the day, it breaks the previous day's low, then get to your full position size. So just keep that in mind. It's just a little tidbit about learning. TSM, this is one that's making me a little bit nervous. I'm usually not nervous in shorts, but I did take full-size TSM today. Why did I take full-size TSM? I called it in the group. There's a little wick. So some people, when they talk about a gap fill, they talk about just the low of the day to the high of the day. Sometimes they talk about the body of the candle, the close to the high of the day. Me, I play it both ways. Sometimes I play it low of day, sometimes I play it to the body of the candle. But today, the body of the candle was at 111.23, which was right about, where was it? 111.23. We didn't even fully fill the gap. Interesting. 1 second. Yeah, so we got close to the gap, and then the main reason I took it, so the gap close was one thing. Another thing was I was short TSM yesterday. Remember, guys, I took it at 140. I sold them at the end of the day for 160, right about here. As soon as I seen Vanna kicking in, I was like, why am I going to hold these contracts waste a whole day of decay, hold them while it rips, make my account red. I sold them from 1.4 to 1.6, went on a huge tear, big gap up this morning. My puts would have been down 50 or 60%. This morning I seen a little weakness. I looked at AMD first of all. AMD was straight down in a line. Nvidia was straight down in a line. So TSM, I'm like, it probably follows down, right? Why is TSM going to hold up here when every other chip is getting destroyed? The whole market is going down. So I jumped back in at 80 cents around here somewhere. Came right down almost 100% on those puts again today. Took a lot of profit. I'm holding some overnight. The only thing I don't like about it is that it closed above 108. Why is 108 such a key level for me? This is a multi-month base, guys. I've sent the chart in the group. Since March of 2021, we've been holding this 108 level to this 125 level. So this is a huge base. If it does break below 108 and stays below 108, I think there's a lot of downside on TSM. But again, this is a great company, guys. And chip companies are very, I think, one of the strongest companies in the world. When the market does bounce, chips should bounce first. So keep an eye on that one. Other than that, I mean, we're up like 50% on the put still. I already took enough profits, and tomorrow we'll see where we open. Apple, another one I called short right here in the chat. You guys seen, took 155s from March 18th. Again, gave myself enough time. Again, instead of taking a small position, we are weak on the day. I was expecting a breakdown today, so I took my full size right away. Dump, like perfect, almost perfection entry. I think Bookie followed me right after. And then just all day, look at this big rip and this little bounce, just bear flag, dump, bear flag, dump, bear flag, dump. And end of day, we had a little bit of short covering, so a little bit of a bounce, but I'm not too worried about Apple. Why? The bigger term picture is bearish, guys. We went to this wedge that's been here since September of 2020. All the resistances match. We broke back below, ripped back above, but now we broke below again, and we retested it almost to the T. And we're right below the 8-day moving average, 21-day moving average, 50-day moving average. So I do expect more downside on Apple. Completely fine holding those ones. Twitter, so I believe I seen a ton of flow. I know what Ricky and T were talking about. There was very unusual flow in Twitter. The only reason I didn't jump in is just because the overall market looked super weak to me, or else I would have been in right with them. Especially with that kind of weird flow. There was in the money call flow for March 18th. There was out of the money call flow. There's 37s getting hit, 38s getting hit. So I think this one's based just on call flow. Other than that, I mean, chart-wise, there's nothing really too special. It looks like exactly like the rest of the market. But it did rip today, intraday. Do you guys see here? When those call flows started coming in, this is what it did. So let's see. If it works out, I hope you guys get paid 10 beggars. For me, myself, I didn't want to take any calls overnight. I took the AMD at the end of the day just because that ES level held that I called out. But other than that, I'm not holding any calls. I don't really want to hold any calls. And what other one was there? He said Twitter and he said Facebook. Facebook. Again, it's just another chart with Twitter. If Twitter goes, I'm sure Facebook, Snapchat, Pinterest, they all go with it. Facebook, there's absolutely nothing special about this chart at all. Earnings were trash. Straight down since earnings. 3-day bounce. Today red. Lost yesterday's low. Lost Monday's low. Lost Friday's low. And Facebook looks like it wants to come back down and test Thursday's low again. There's absolutely nothing bullish about this chart. It's actually very bearish since it lost Friday's low of 203. And we didn't close below. We closed a little bit above it. But if we lose today's low tomorrow, I think Facebook's a short to Thursday's lows. And other than that, I went over that. Airbnb we can do now. All right, so Airbnb, I think Bookie took shorts. I love this stock for the long term, guys. I really want some equity, but every time it gets down there, I'm always busy with other stuff. Let's go over the weekly first, just for Bookster. Obviously, recent IPO. There's not too much price discovery here yet, but there is enough where you can call something. Basically, we had a huge rip-off IPO. Everyone loves Airbnb, right? Everyone thinks it's a futuristic company. It's a great company. It is a great company. That's why I want equity for the long term. But we did V-shape straight back down on Airbnb, guys. And then a little bounce, and it's very clear where the support is on Airbnb. This is the long-term support that you do not want to see get broken right about, let's put it up a little bit, right here. So 135-ish is, look at this. Look how clean it is on the weekly, guys. 135, very, very clean support. It's been holding every single time. And right now we are sitting currently about 151. We go to the daily here. Daily. Looks like the bounce is done. Very weak bounce, I agree. So it's the same as Facebook. The stronger stocks today, they bounced for 3 days. They held yesterday's and Friday's lows. So even SPY, look at SPY on 3 days. 3-day bounce where Friday held Thursday's lows, Monday held Friday's lows. Today we took them both out, but we closed above Monday's low. So SPY is stronger than that. QQQ is stronger than that, I believe. QQQ is still holding Monday's low. IWM is still holding Monday's low. Indexes are holding Monday's lows. Tesla's just straight up still. AMD lost it. So you can very clearly see which ones are weaker, which ones are stronger. AMD lost Monday's low. And Airbnb lost Monday's low yesterday, but today we held yesterday's low. So tomorrow on Airbnb, a key level I would watch is yesterday's low. Monday's low of 148.30. If 148.30 breaks, it's almost certain there's a 90% probability that we go and revisit Thursday's lows, which would be 141, and then 135 is the last line of defense. If we take out yesterday's highs, which is at 155, then you can expect a move back up to Friday's highs, which is at 160. So those are the only two levels I'd be watching. Key on Airbnb tomorrow would be 155 to the upside and 148.30 to the downside. If we close a candle above 155, I would cut puts right away. If we got below 148, I would cut calls if you're in calls. And if you're in puts right now, I would probably add on a break of 148.30. So that's what I would do. Bull flagging on the hourly. I wouldn't call that a bull flag. It's too much. It's way too long. A bull flag would have ended like right here, but this is just straight down consolidation, right? So we have to wait. The only levels I care about on Airbnb would be 155.10 to the upside, 148.30 to the downside. If you're in puts right now, it looks better for you in my opinion. Stochastics are curling down. But again, it's right in the middle of the range kind of. I would wait till one breaks personally to take an entry. And let's see what tomorrow has to bring, because in my opinion, tomorrow, even though today was weak, we have a 50-50 chance of going up or down tomorrow. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for attending. I hope you had a